Up to 118 yards, 5 carries. 8 carries.
Already has 2 touchdowns, 23 on the season.
Kid can play a little bit.
I heard he's pretty good.
Hey, how about that score? 14-0. Pittsburgh over the Blue Valley High football team. You read that right?
Robert Pacheco.
Robert Pacheco.
That's a pretty reliable source right there.
That is, no question about it.
That's
reliable. You look up reliable and you see Rob's face.
First quarter. Yeah, it's first quarter 14-0 Pittsburgh. So
you even had to go back and double check, didn't you? Just to make sure.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Sure. Wow. And you've got 20-6 here with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Blazers already scored 20 points. Blue Valley High scored 14 for the game against this same Aquinas defense last week.
So an extra point's going to be 5 yards longer, but Chase Lee puts it up as the Blazers now lead 21-6 on the Saints. So that's got to be a little demoralizing. A great run by Luke Martinez, and then you have the Blazers down at the 30-yard line, and then all it is a simple toss play.
Toss sweep to the right side. They were in the power formation, almost a thunder set that we used to refer to last week or last year, except Hobby's up under center. But they're wide out to the right with Getzman. Getzman does a great job of stock blocking his corner. And Trey, did a great job of finishing the run because he's got some serious wheels. The run he went through there, he wasn't touched for about 15 yards, and then he did another ankle break move and busted to the outside. Moran then tried to run him. Moran kid can run because he was running stride for stride with Trey, and until he caught him, and then Trayvon said, enough of this trying to outrun you, I'm just going to shove you off, and then he marched right, he just walked into the end zone. So what a great run and a great response by that Blazer offense to the big run by Martinez.
So Blazers lead 21-6 as Chase Lee kicks the ball off down the left hash mark, taken up by Nick Williams at the 12. Runs up ahead hard, busts one tackle, runs into a couple of the Blazers. Tim Seymour jumping on top of the pile, trying to get him down. And another Blazer, not needed, jumping on the pile.
Caden White jumped on there. 10 guys on that pile, 10 white jerseys.
Wanted to make sure he was down.
And, the whistle hadn't blown, to Caden's,
you're told to play to the whistle blows.
Play to the whistle blows.
And I have heard coaches get a flag taken away because the ref had not blown the whistle yet, and they were taught to do that. And the ref said, "You're right. I can't." That's what they're doing. So 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line for the Saints, and a nice job by Scott Wellglos to get the video going here at the game. As we're going to have a short gain. And that's going to be by Zach Martinez.
Dalton Kirk coming in big off the left end there, Ryan, to make that big tackle on Martinez.
Dalton Kirk, 2 track championships this year in B-Mods. He plays like it too, doesn't he?
He plays like he's driving a B-Mod.
He is. He's going for it. So twins to both sides. 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line. Zach Martinez in the backfield. Scherzer pump fakes. He's running, slips. He's going to be down at the 35-yard line. As Scherzer couldn't find anybody, saw a gap ahead of him and was going to tuck the ball and run, but just ended up slipping.
Well, those new shoulder pads that Duck put on Fritz is working pretty well.
Do we give Duck an assist?
Jacob did a good job. I tell you, Jake and Dalton have really, they really do a nice job up there for a couple of kids that are playing their first year of varsity defense.
Clock at 9:52. Trips to the near side. Scherzer rolling out, hits Nick Williams out in the flat across the 40-yard line, brought down first by Long and then by by Jared McDermott.
McDermott hit the stop for Gardner.
The Blazers run a nice scheme when they're up against a team that has no tight ends. They will overload and bring 3 defensive guys to one. They'll bring 3 different defensive assignments to the side that has only 2 offensive guys.
So St. Thomas Aquinas is going to punt, and they got to call. No way! I'm sorry, that is totally wrong. Marcus Williams was pushed into the punter as the punt is going to go straight up, and they're going to throw a flag. But
Yeah.
Clayton Henning was blocking Marcus Williams, and Williams got around the corner, and Henning got one more push into Williams, and that push got him in to the punter.
That's going to be enough
Got
for
him
a
in
first
to
down.
Henning, and that's going to be enough for first down, but I'm sorry, that's a bad play. And the worst thing is it happened right in front of the ref, and he's looking right at it, because that's his job in the backfield.
Running into the kicker on the defense.
I'm not being biased, but that's a bad call, and we've got video on that. So Coach Diener can't be too happy about that, and and I hope he's not getting on Williams because it really couldn't do too much about it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Blazers can come back. There's 9 minutes to go and put another stop on this Aquinas offense. As we were talking before, Coach Henry's been dialing up some blitzes that are overloading the offensive side of one offensive side for Aquinas. They're bringing more guys than they have to block, and that always leaves a clear opening for at least one of the blitzers.
Scherzer rolling out to the right side. Pass tipped by Bovitz. Pass intended for Henning.
How about those outside linebackers recently, Ryan, with their hands up on the little flat passes? Bovitz going for his second pick in a couple of weeks.
Well, if he got the ball, he thought he was going to be Brett Jensen again wearing that 35.
And last week we saw Jared McDermott pick up a fumble and ramble in 39 yards. So these linebackers getting really active. We used to talk about big number 44 all the time, but now he's got some company and obviously a lot of help back there in that three linebacker set.
Scherzer being chased by Williams. He had to get rid of the pass because he knew the hard-hitting Williams was coming, and the pass is going to fall incomplete.
It's been a long time since we've seen the defensive line be able to have as much dominance as they're having tonight. And with the exception of the one run by Martinez up the middle where it wasn't that he had an open seam, there were some Blazers with some pretty sloppy tackling on that particular play. This defensive line has had their way with the offensive line for St. Thomas Aquinas.
Twins on both sides. Luke Martinez on the backfield. Scherzer looking on the slot. Pump fakes, rolls out to the right side. He's being chased, but down by Moore. Driven out of bounds on the 3rd and 10, and this defense is just all over the place. And I'll tell you right now, Moore has been very impressive once he got moved to that nose tackle.
Well, that was a coverage sack there. You got both inside linebackers stepping up and really patting number 25, Eric Moore, on the side of the helmet, telling him great job. As in essence, you've got a linebacker playing nose tackle there. Eric, that rush there was with a 3-man rush. The Blazers showed blitz, backed out of it, and then had Eric Moore.
Here's Henning with the punt. Bounces at the 30-yard line. It's going to be down.
Once Scherzer started scrambling on that last play, Ryan, Moore just ran him down and just drew a bead on him from about the hash marks out, and then run him right through the sideline of St. Thomas Aquinas. Great hustle play by Eric, but I think you really got to give a lot of credit to that secondary 8. The Blazer linebackers had dropped back, and then that secondary, the corners with the two safeties, Winkler and lost him, number 11.
So
Goldsmith did a great job back there.
8:24 to go in the first half. Tossed a wrench to the near side, bounces into the back of Connor Knorr, or Max Knorr, but we have a flag on the play. And we'll have to check that, or may call that holding.
And that's ironic because it looked like the hold was coming as they were trying to push Aquinas to the outside, and then Trey was going to cut back in on the hold, or cut back in on the block, and evidently couldn't tell exactly who that was.
Well, they haven't given a signal on what the penalty was yet. But the Blazer offense is backing up.
Talking about on the offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Boy, I don't know how they can call that a block in the back. Maybe holding, but but I don't know how you can call a block in the back. They ran toss sweep to the left. The defense started to move out with the flow and kind of turned their back. It was the outside linebacker, I believe number 23, and he kind of turned his back on the linemen that were trying to reach block, and it was just a bad call.
Hobby's going to keep it himself out of the shotgun. He bounced into Caden White.
Uh-oh, fumble.
And may have a fumble on the play, but they're going to say still be second down. So it's going to be 2nd and 19.
You know, you've got green grass over about 85% of this football field.
And that was a Dust Bowl.
And we've played 6 or 7 snaps right down there on the 20, right in the middle of that Dust Bowl. There's a that looks like a pitcher's mound on a baseball diamond down there.
That looks like me in about 10 years. It's going to be spotty. I can tell you right now.
Well, as long as it's not dusty.
We won't worry about that till later. Split backfield, 2nd and 18. Hobby rolling off to the right side, being chased. He's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line by Sam Kenyard, and it's going to be a long play for the Blazers. First down markers at the 40, and they're going to mark it down at the 10, so it's going to be 3rd and 30. So obviously a few adjustments by the front line.
Look for one of those drop back handoff to Trayvon Wrench for 35-yard plays.
Really? And this was a situation last year you still had to hold your breath with Starling because you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah. Look at this formation. Power eye to the right.
Now we're going to
power eye to the left, and it's overbalanced.
Yeah. 3rd and 29. Toss sweep. Wrench gets across the 20-yard line down to the 22. Almost broke that one for a first down, too.
Oh, gosh.
So the clock running at 6:30. Blazers going to have to punt for the first time tonight.
Well, that was a couple of bad plays in that series where we ran the quarterback draw for a loss of 1, then the rollout was a loss of another, about 12, coupled with a penalty in there. So that just kind of a disastrous drive, that particular series for the Blazers.
As Justin Long with the punt, it's a line drive taken by Henning across the 50-yard line. Full stutter step, runs right into Marcus Williams and Caden White. He's going to be driven out of bounds. Saints going to have great field position at the Blazers' 38-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, Ryan, you got to really be impressed with Marcus Williams. We've been really impressed with Marcus as a defensive end and playing with his hand down on the ground. But I tell you what, it doesn't matter whether it's a punt, whether it's a kickoff. Marcus is all over the football field, and you can see easily why he is the leading point getter on this Blazer defense. He has 166 points off of 32 solo tackles, 24 assists. He's got 7 tackles for losses. He's got 3 sacks, and he's got a blocked punt.
And most of that was when he moved over to DN.
And he's got 2 fumble recoveries. So the guy is just playing out of his mind here this season. What a great story for the Blazers.
Scherzer hands the ball off to Zach Martinez, bounces up ahead. He gets stutter step, and I think that might have been Williams again, and it was.
Right on cue, Marcus. Thank you.
Making him look good. But Zach Martinez gets 3 yards out of the play, make it 2nd and 7 for the Saints from the Blazer 36-yard line.
The interesting thing with Marcus, too, the Blazer coaches have now decided to move him around, so he could line up on the right side, the left side.
Waiting for a long, high snap for the Saints, being chased. Scherzer, as he covers it up, it's going to be all the way back to the Saints' 48-yard line with a first down marker at the Blazer 29.
Well, that had to be a helpless feeling for quarterback Scherzer. He's in the pistol with an offset right Martinez. The ball went right over his head, and he had Eric Moore and Justin Long absolutely flying at him.
Another update from Blue Valley. Blue Valley scored 14-7. Pittsburgh 21-7.
Well, there was no question. We didn't think that was a fluke offense that we were watching last week. That was a good offensive football.
Blue Valley's probably got their head spinning going, wait a minute. Evidently they didn't see the film from last week. Scherzer looking downfield, got a nice pass complete to number 23. That's going to be Brendan Nachbar.
How about that name blast from the pass?
I think we've heard Nachbar a few times in the past.
The Nachbars are unbelievably competitive.
And what a pass by Scherzer.
Great pass by Scherzer.
And he likes that slot pattern, that slot route.
Well, that was a wide out cross, yeah, right in the seam there. And Goldsmith come up just not quite in time as Aquinas is going for it on 4th and 5 here.
From the 34-yard line, they need to get to the 29. Scherzer looking off to the right side for Henning, throws it behind him.
That's a catchable ball.
It was catchable, but a little bit behind him, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. And Coach Diener is out there high-fiving his defense for a nice hold.
Yeah, you got Scherzer made another nice throw there. It wasn't perfect, but it was certainly catchable. So a little bit of a break for the Blazers. Coach Diener fired up about his defensive team because he's got 3:49 now left for his offense to get out there and see if they can get some more points on the board, up 21-6.
I'm sorry, I was singing Twisted Sister for a second. I was seeing D's in that big lipstick and all that. Here's Wrench with the ball. Tries to go across. For some reason, I think he was going to try to leap Knorr. And Knorr's like 6'3".
Did I hear you're a Cowboys fan, Dallas Cowboys fan?
Back in the back in the Landry days.
Back in the Landry days.
Jerry Jones, yep. I have no respect for him.
Well, all right. Well, back in the Landry days, you remember Calvin Hill.
Oh,
Trayvon Wrench turning into Calvin Hill with these jumping exhibitions that he's done. Two of the last three runs, Trey's decided can't go around him, can't go through him, going to go over him.
We'll just yell through, over, whichever way it takes. Toss sweep to the right side. Trayvon looking for a hole. Stutter steps, gets up to the 39-yard line.
Interesting play calling by Coach Diener. We haven't seen him run as much toss sweep as he has tonight. That's about the third or fourth toss sweep play that Trey has run, and he's running them both right and both left. I tell you what, if anyone had an opportunity to watch Salina Central Mustangs in Coach Diener's last year with Jake Sharp, boy, you got to know that play really well. The Blazers normally just run off tackle by a handoff from the quarterback.
So 3rd and 5, not much on the gain.
There's some kind of a defensive alignment adjustment that the Saints have made. That was power eye to the right side. Jared Hobby went back and just handed it to Trey, and nothing happening over there. As there are more Saints than the Blazers have men to block. 4th down and 4 on their own 40, and Coach Diener mulling over whether he's going to go for it right here with 2 minutes to go in the first half. You would think that pretty conservative play call here would be to punt it out of there, and maybe that's what Coach is going to do as he's letting the play clock run down to 0 here, and then looks like he's going to call timeout, and we'll make the decision.
That's going to be perfect. So we just got an email from Connor Bouchard. Said Pitt looks really good on both sides of the ball, just forced a 3 and out. Pitt with the ball at the 50 with about 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
That sounds like the real deal going on over there. That will certainly throw this district into a tailspin or some kind of a quagmire if Blue Valley loses. That means you're going to have 3 teams, and the Blazers can hold on here. That means you're going to have 3 teams
at 2-1 possibly.
Well, 1-1. Is that possible?
Well, if Pittsburgh beats Blue Valley,
well, these guys Saints would be 0-2. You'd have Pittsburgh at 1-1, and you'd have Blue Valley at 1-1. The Blazers at 2-0.
And the Blazers would pretty much be locked in.
But you'd have 3 teams really scrambling in their last week of play. Blue Valley being one of them. Blue Valley would have to win. If Blue Valley loses tonight, Ryan, they will have to win against the Blazers next week to get in. Wow, you talk about a dangerous team and a team with their back against the wall.
Yeah.
That's a team that's ranked number 1 in the state going into this week, the 7th week of the season, with a chance of not getting into the playoffs.
Here's a punt taken up by Henning, across the 40-yard line, and he drives up ahead another 6 yards. Nice job by Henning. And there's a player for you right now.
Yeah, nice tackle Well, he'd be a lot nicer player if he'd have made that catch on that 4th down play a minute ago for the Saints. But Saints in pretty good position here, I suppose, relatively speaking. 1:34 to go. Ball 54 yards, away from pay dirt.
Yeah. Well, and you take a look at right now, you know, the Saints really need to get something out of this to, you know, be within the 2 touchdowns.
It's been a nice defensive game plan that they have been allowed to keep their safeties too high.
Scherzer, he's going to be brought down by Moore and Dalton Kirk. And that was a big first play for the Blazer defense with the clock at 1:25. A timeout called. Real quick, one of the proud sponsors of 810 Varsity Sports is Smoothie King. Now, Smoothie King natural smoothies are refreshing, custom-made drinks that taste great and are good for you. Whether your goal is to lose weight, bulk up, or just find that drink that's good for you, Smoothie King has a smoothie just for you. For more information, visit one of Smoothie King's natural lifestyle centers, or you can find them on the web at smoothieking.com. Smoothie King Day. You want a smoothie?
I love those things.
Oh, orange
They are
smoothie.
good.
Just give me an orange smoothie.
You put orange and you need to try some strawberry.
By the way, while we're talking about smoothies, me and Duck, are you with me here, son?
I'm craving a smoothie right now.
No, you want to know what I'm craving?
How about our burger from Wally's?
Overtime at Wally's, you know what I'm having tonight.
Dude, I'm having a Blazer burger when I get there. No.
The
Blazer Broadcast Network.
The BBN burger.
Dude, Dave, that was delicious. Oh my goodness.
I told you, Dave.
I understand the slivered ham, uncooked, really set it off.
And with the Eggo Reezy and the cheese. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Duck, Wally has our burgers for us. Scherzer looking back to pass to the right side. He's going to keep it himself. Goes up against Plank, breaks the tackle, loses the handle of the ball, but picks it back up, driven out of bounds by Bovitz. And they're going to get down to about the 50-yard line. It's going to make it 3rd and about 7.
Well, that time the Blazers just went with a 3-man rush and did a slant to the right side, hoping that Scherzer would tuck it and run. They had Matt Plank standing about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage spying, and certainly when Scherzer took off, Plank took off as well.
Scherzer looking downfield for Martinez, and they're going to say the pass was complete. That was very close to bouncing out the ground, but they're going to say it was caught. It's going to be a first down with 1:13 to go in the first quarter.
That was a pretty nice pass by Scherzer, a really nice catch out there as the ball was perfectly thrown right underneath Austin Goldsmith. Austin really kind of geared down on that one. I think had Austin really made a drive on the ball, he might have had a chance to pick that thing and go the other direction, but he kind of settled, let the ball get caught underneath of him.
Scherzer's going to keep it himself, ran out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Have to see where they mark it. Stops the clock at 57 seconds.
Scherzer doing a nice job. You know, typical St. Thomas Aquinas quarterback here. They really rely on their quarterbacks to scramble and to make plays, and Scherzer trying to do that. The little guy to come in, I'm sure not expecting to get a lot of playing time, only 5'9", 165 pounds. Trying to lead Aquinas back to within 1 score here.
Remember, if you want to drop us an email, blazerbroadcast@yahoo.com, or you can go to blazerbroadcastnetwork.com, just click on the big envelope and email us that way. Let us know where you're listening from and who you're rooting for here on 810 Varsity Sports on the Blazer Broadcast Network. Here's a pass by Scherzer, pass intended for number 2, that's Baska, being guarded by
Colton Peavyhouse.
Peavyhouse.
Colton Peavyhouse running stride for stride inside, or had man coverage, so he had inside leverage and running stride for stride with Baska, and really a pretty nice ball. I didn't know if Colton was going to get his head turned around in time, but Baska never could make a play on the ball.
So clock at 54 seconds, 3rd and 7. Scherzer looking deep, looking for Henning. Pass going to be complete at the 2-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Saints with 45 seconds left to go in the half.
Unbelievable
Wow.
play. the key to the whole thing was that Scherzer threw the ball under duress. Instead of tucking it and taking it the sack, he just chucked it up.
I think it was at a 45-degree angle falling backwards.
And they had two receivers back there, and it looked like either could have made the attempt on the reception, but let's see what the Blazers can pull off here on defense.
So 1st and goal from the 2, as we're going to have a stoppage of play, and we're going to have a timeout by the Saints. Real quick, going back to Duck Martin down on the sideline. Now, Dave, we told you about this. Overtime at Wally's, after every Blazer game, $4.99 burger baskets. And Duck can testify for me.
Dave, that burger was fire, man.
$4.99 for a BBN burger.
Yeah, we're talking ham, egg, burger.
Now we lost Duck. What are you doing? You know what, Duck? You have a 9-volt with you? You don't have you know what? I don't think I do either. You may have to come get this other mic. Will have to switch. So we'll have to get with Coach Diener later, as I think the battery just went dead, and that's my fault. Anyway, Wally's $4.99 burger baskets. And then Saturday morning for the coaches show starting at 9 o'clock, and then we have the film starting at 7 o'clock, and then after that you get to watch Monday Night Football. And don't forget the $7 burger baskets after that. Oh, and Wally wanted to say a big hi to Big B. He's a big Blazer supporter.
Big B?
Big B. That's all it takes.
Well, hey, any friend of Wally's is a friend of ours. Go Big
I go
B.
for that. I can argue with him. So the Saints come up. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, 33 seconds.
You got to throw it here, I would think, Ryan. I don't think you run the risk of, well, they do have a timeout remaining, so they could still call a timeout if they need to. Full house backfield.
Full house swings to the near side, and we're going to have a flag on the play.
I don't think they were set.
I don't think they were set either. May have illegal motion. That'll back it up 5 yards.
And that's really a mistake if that is.
Illegal formation.
Their wideout was not on the line of scrimmage.
Right.
We couldn't tell that from this angle, but they had the quarterback back in the pistol set with a halfback on each side of him, and the wideout over here to the right side, I believe that was Basket, did not get up on the line of scrimmage, which means that they have too many men in the backfield or not enough guys on the line of scrimmage. What a bad break for St. Thomas Aquinas, as they just ran a little dive play over the right side, double lead actually, and got in the end zone pretty easily on that last play.
Scherzer going to keep the ball on the option.
Oh.
Breaks one tackle, then gets hit hard on the far side.
I don't know if he got out of bounds.
As the clock is still running, as St. Thomas is going to call another timeout.
Well, that was a mistake by Scherzer
Yeah,
there.
he get out of bounds on that one.
Yeah, he needed to run out of bounds at least. They ran the option over the left side. He decided not to pitch it. Had he pitched it, his pitchback Williams would have got out of bounds, but he ran and then decided to cut it up inside. And I believe that was Plank that came up and made the hit on him, and somehow kept him inside as he was kind of rolling him around or tossing him around over there. So nice play by the Blazer defense there. Boy, this thing has really turned into a kind of a really dramatic situation here. Big series of downs here for Aquinas as they hit a long pass to get them down to the 3-yard line now, trying to stick it on in the end zone. And I don't know that they will have any other option but to try to pass it at this point, because now I don't think they have any timeouts remaining and will not have a way of stopping the clock before the time runs out if they don't throw it out of bounds or into the end zone at least.
So St. Thomas comes out, breaks their huddle on the sideline, facing a 2nd and goal from the 4. So we'll have to see what happens with this set.
Wow, look at this formation.
We're going quads.
To the right. One wide out to the left. Scherzer in the backfield.
Rolling out to the right side. He's being chased. Breaks one tackle, throws it again to the backside.
I don't think that's...
Pass complete to Henning, but he was out of bounds. But I'll tell you right now, Scherzer is impressive.
Well, he's a competitor.
He is.
And he reminds us of the Nockbar quarterback. Henning's hurt in the back of the end zone. As Scherzer dodged the oncoming defender, I believe that was Bobitz, that just came in unblocked. And he spun out of Bobitz's grasp. When he made that pass to the end zone, I believe he threw it to Henning, but I don't think it would have counted, or it certainly shouldn't have counted, because I think Henning was out of bounds in the back of the end zone, then ran back inbounds to try to make the catch, which would be an illegal play if that were the case. It didn't matter because
complete to Henning, but out of the end zone.
Because when he did catch it anyway, he was out of the back of the end zone. So
we'll have to check and see.
That'll be another big blow to St. Thomas Aquinas if they lose Henning. He's their leading receiver, it looks like, coming into the football game, or their common target that Scherzer really likes to go to.
Looking at the ankle real quick. I know Doug can still hear me. I'm going to try to get the other microphone down to you here in a second as we get the box switched out. So I'm not sure where you are. I saw you walking across. If we get this done quick enough, we can still get a word with Coach Diener. As Henning gets up, walking gingerly on his right ankle.
Boy, the Blazers really traveled well again, as you might suspect, up here to Overland Park for this big matchup with Aquinas, this rivalry matchup. Student body in full force tonight, Ryan.
Of course. So if we can get, real quick, we'll try to get the microphone down to Duck so we can get a word with Coach Diener as he comes off the field.
Oh, we got him.
And he's going to get in for the touchdown on 3rd and 4. A big play for the Saints. As Scherzer, he shows what kind of gamer he is on this drive.
I tell you, that's a great word for him, gamer, man. He is making play.
A little moxie there.
He is making play after play after play. And it reminds me so much of Brennan, I believe it was Brennan Nockbar.
No, Brennan's the one that's in there now.
The quarterback, the basketball player from last year, I should know. Good.
Shane Nockbar.
Shane, thank you. Shane Nockbar, no doubt. No doubt a role model that Scherzer played, that modeled his game after, because they sure play a lot alike.
So we got the other microphone down to Duck, so we'll get a word as Nick Williams gets the ball on the toss on a 2-point conversion, but he's going to be stopped just short, and that's a huge play because that's still going to be a 9-point deficit, so it's still a two-score game right now.
Two-score game, yep, that's right.
The 2-point conversion is not
well,
good.
they tried to run the option over there. The Blazers defended it very, very well as he pitched at that time, and Williams made a nice cut back up the middle. The official made a nice call because I was watching him come in for the spot, and Williams actually tried to stick that ball over the goal line right as he stuck his helmet down trying to cross, and I think the ball might have hit the goal line, but his knees certainly were well short when he initially made contact with the ground. So
score update at the half. Pittsburgh leading Blue Valley 21-7.
Wow.
And you know what? If you want to, you can go to A10 Varsity Sports, go to the Gamecast, and you can see that game on there. You can flip back and forth.
That's why they play the games, isn't it,
A10 Varsity Sports. What can you say about A10 Varsity Sports, what they have done with high school football in the area?
That is awesome.
You got some of the hottest games in the area. You got two rivalries.
Yeah.
Well, you got a rivalry here and a great game going down the road. There's only one place to be able to watch them both, A10 Varsity Sports. I'm just saying. As here's a squib kick, it's going to be down, or well, they already blew the whistle.
I think
They blew the whistle ahead of time, but I think St. Thomas might have gotten a hold of it with 5 seconds left. As I'm not sure if that was Bovitz or Mio Gray.
Well, it's going to be a moot point because the Blazers come out of the bottom of the pile with it.
That's going to be Powell, the younger brother of.
That's Logan.
That's going to be Logan Powell, the
younger brother of Big Lucas Powell.
Over in Miami of Ohio. So 5 seconds left to go on the clock. And and Duck, do you hear me? Can you hear me okay, Duck?
Well, you got to think this is going to be a little toss sweep action. They're overbalanced right, power set.
Here's a toss to Wrench as he's going to be brought down. Get a couple yards on the play, brought down by Sam Schmidt. But nice job by the Saints coming back, being down 21-7 with the late score. Still down by 9. And we'll have to check and see if we can get a word with Coach Diener and Duck Martin. And I'm not sure. Evidently that was not working either, so we'll have to check the batteries or something. But the Blazers come up with a 21-12 lead at the half, as this game by no means is over. And St. Thomas being down 14-0, they could have folded it up early. But you take a look at Scherzer, as we talked about him being a gamer, that's what he's done is very impressive.
The game reminds me a little bit of the last week's game with Pittsburgh, in which the Blazers just really never could put Pittsburgh away, but stayed arm lengths away for the most part, but never really could just shut them down. And even though Aquinas has not had a juggernaut of an offense by any stretch of the imagination this evening, and all of their yards have certainly been tough earned and yards. They've really made a game of it by just hanging in there, down only 21-12 here. So interesting first half, and we'll see what's in store here for the second half.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the Anytime Fitness halftime show with the Blazers leading 21-12. You're listening to Blazer Football on the Blazer Broadcast Network and 810 Varsity Sports.
This is Doug with Anytime Fitness. Are you looking to get in shape and not sure where to turn? Let us help. At Anytime Fitness, we have high-quality, well-maintained equipment that you can always count on. Looking for some advice? Our friendly, certified staff is always ready to help you achieve your specific fitness goal. With our great membership prices, we promise you can achieve the best results for your money. So if you have any questions, give me a call at 856-0100, or better yet, come by and take a look at what we have to offer. We are located at 255 North Stone Creek Drive behind Electric Sun Tanning. What's your goal? Let us help. Anytime Fitness.
It's time for the Anytime Fitness halftime show, brought to you by Anytime Fitness, 255 North Stone Creek Drive in Gardner. Anytime is a good time for a workout. Now let's head back to the Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed broadcast booth with Ryan Ragland and Dave Webb.
Back at these Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed broadcast booth where the Blazers lead 21-7 here at St. Thomas Aquinas against the Saints. Halftime score at Blue Valley. The Purple Dragons of Pittsburgh leading Blue Valley 21-7, and that score alone could cause a few problems in District 4.
Well, that's certainly a surprising score. This one's no doubt a surprising score as well when people read that the Saints, or hear that the Saints have 12 points in the first half against the Blazer defense. But certainly, as we talked earlier, these yards are hard-earned yards for the Saints tonight. They have 165 total yards on the night, and actually Scherzer, the leading ball carrier, no, I take that back, Martinez with his 45-yard touchdown runs, the leading ball carrier. He has 54 yards on 4 carries, but Scherzer, the leading ball carrier, he's got 2 touchdowns. He's got 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry, he's got 1 touchdown, and he's got 10 yards rushing on 13 carries. That's a little bit misleading, as he's got about 6 rushing attempts for losses, and a couple of those pretty big losses, 11-yard loss and a 7-yard loss. So 165 total yards for the Saints on the night, 235 conversely for the Blazers on the night. Wrench, of course, leading the way there, 10 carries, 135 yards. He's got, 13 carries, 135 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns on the night. One of those coming on a long run, one of them on a 55-yard touchdown pass reception from Clayton, or from Jared Hobby. So 21-12, second half, Ryan. Anything could happen, I suppose, but you got to like the fact that even though the Blazers haven't maybe played their best ball, they are certainly in a better position than when they started that last half.
Yeah, they were, and like I said, being down 14-0, it could have gone out of hand for the Saints, and they did a nice job coming back. Got an email from, I think it was Pat Murphy, I'm not sure. Yeah, from Pat Murphy. Says, here you talk about knock bars from St. Thomas. Get used to sours from Olathe South next year and years to come. Dave, you know.
Yeah.
Is that your fan club?
Well, Sowers was, well, I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to there, but I'm sure that there'll be several names that we'll have to get used to in the next, at the 6A level, from Olathe South, Olathe North, and all those teams in our district that we're not accustomed to. Pretty strong traditions over there, and certainly some strong family ties to those traditions.
Well, I made the comment that when the new district stadiums came out, there's a lot of 5A teams breathing a sigh of relief with Hutch and Gardner moving up to 6A.
Yeah. Sighs of relief from one, and gasps of reaction to that change in 6A.
Olathe Northwest, South, and North going, okay, just business just picked up, as they say. As you can see, the St. Thomas Aquinas, I think they're doing, it looks like they're doing some of the Phantom of the Opera, as they have like the half masks on. You put anything on my face when I tried to march, and I was running into something, whatever it was. But the Blazers lead by a score of 21-12, and at the half, as we said, 21-7, Pittsburgh over Blue Valley. And you know, you take a look at the point differential right now, and as I pull that back, is Gardner has a 13-point. Well, both Blue Valley and Gardner right now 1-0, 13 points. But you know, it can become even 1-1, and then you can start getting that points game coming in, and then, you know, hypothetically, let's say that St. Thomas wins this one, then you got 4 teams at 1-1, and then your point system really comes into work.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be mathematically challenged trying to follow and track that.
You would be mathematically confused.
I'm already mathematically challenged. Yeah, I'd be more so.
Is that why when I asked you to figure out the miles per gallon when we went to St. Louis, you kind of looked at me and said, no, that ain't going to happen. Yeah. That's your car. Let you do that.
Gallons in a mile, what?
I'm trying to figure out how many quarts are in a pint. I mean, God's sakes, come on. But as we take a look around the area and on 810 Varsity Sports, as we try to take a look at some of the scores going on as we get it updated, the one interesting thing, and don't have a whole lot of scores out in the West, but some of the other scores, Bishop Miege is taking on Turner, and right now, 21-0, Miege over Turner. Trying to find some of the other scores, Southwest over DeSoto, Blue Valley Southwest 9-0. Another score, Schlegel is trailing Lansing by a score of 19-6, and Schlegel's a team that came in 6-0.
Schlegel came in undefeated, and now they're winless in their district, or going to be, looks like, after 2 weeks. So
unless they pick it up pretty quickly.
Well, Schlegel was in I think we can be fairly safe in saying, a pretty weak league and had a pretty weak schedule. Another interesting local score, Eudora 29, Ottawa 14. Paola putting it on Spring Hill 20, looks like 8-7.
Not too surprising there. Some of the others, Mill Valley over Harmon, 28-8. As we scroll down, of course, we're getting these from 810 Varsity Sports. Atchison over Sumner Academy, 20-8. Shawnee Mission Northwest, close over Leavenworth, 24-20, and that was a final last night.
I think that's a district of futility right there as well. I think coming into that district, that 6A district, there were only 3 wins collectively.
Yeah, there was only 3 wins, and Shawnee Mission's Northwest coming up with that one as Leavenworth is 1-7, and Coach Kopacki not enjoying his time in Leavenworth as he did here at St. Thomas. So about 7.5 minutes away from the start of the second half, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout, and we'll be back with more of the Anytime Fitness halftime show. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
Why is Anytime Fitness Gardner's #1 choice? At Anytime Fitness, we offer free guidance programs and classes for all ages. With an Anytime Fitness membership, you have access to over 1,400 clubs nationwide. Also, with your membership, you can receive 1 month free when you sign up a friend. For more details, give me a call at 856-0100, or better yet, come by and take a look at what we have to offer. We are located at 255 North Stone Creek Drive behind Electric Sun. What's your goal? Let us help. Anytime Fitness.
Believe in each other in things not yet seen. One team, one dream. Those are the words that a coach once told me. Coaches have always been very important to me, and all of them have stressed the importance of teamwork. Teamwork should be a goal of all teams and players. If everyone works together to achieve a common goal, then there is an endless amount of opportunities for your team. This is Kylie Randall Bowden from Gardner-Edgerton High School with a message from Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Wally's Neighborhood Grill. Have breakfast with Coach Diener and Coach Henry every Saturday mornings at 9 during the Coach's Show. Wally's Neighborhood Grill, 808 East Main in Gardner.
Ace Dent Removal. For the best in hail, dent, and door ding removal, call Terry at 485-2524. Nothing beats an Ace. Nothing.
Anytime Fitness. See Doug Karstens for their great membership prices. Call 856-0100.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Ryan Ragland, Dave Webb, Dustin Duck Martin, and the stat man Darren Hinks back with you here at St. Thomas Aquinas. High atop the press box at the True Value Hardware and Feed broadcast booth. Too much for me to say. Almost have to get my tongue untied. Blazers leading by a score of 21-12 as the St. Thomas Saints band doing a nice performance with the Phantom of the Opera. As a big thanks to Scott Welglos for getting the video broadcast up and running. As can't see but off camera, have a baton twirler with flames. Uh-oh. What do you got for me, Duck? Go ahead and turn your mic on. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Are you not on? You got to be on. Well. Oh, is someone going to go? Are you talking about someone's going to go get a battery? Channels are fine. This is called improvising.
7 seniors for the Brigade Marching Band and the Sapphire Color Guard.
As well, checking everything, double checking here. I'm not getting you, Duck. I'm not sure why.
First of all, our senior drum major, Casey Craig.
Well, I've already got it switched over. This is called On the Fly. We're communicating during the halftime. We'll try to get this figured out. Can you get a battery? Can you get a 9-volt? No. Well, that mic doesn't have the range as the other one has, so, hey, Duck, here's what I say you do. Get back up here in the stands and go back to your old job. I know a lot of the people in the stands are wanting you up here. And, oh, by the way, Wally says he has our burgers tonight. He has the BBM burger ready to go for us. So we're going to give Duck Martin the day off. He's just going to go back on the stands and enjoy the game. But real quick, take a look at some of the stats. And I'll have to, 235 total yards for Trayvon Wrench, 10 carries for 135 yards. Jared Hobby, 4 passes, 4 completions, 84 yards. as Wrench has 3 of the, now that's right, 10 carries?
13. Sarah Hernandez. Sarah's been the brigade drum line for 3 years.
Okay, I'll have to talk to Darren about his stat keeping because this confuses me. Take a look for the St. Scherzer, has 13 carries for 10 yards. Martinez has 4 carries for 54 yards and 1 touchdown. Scherzer has a touchdown of 4 yards. And Nick Williams has 2 carries for 2 yards. Scherzer right now, 7 out of 14 for 98 yards. Nick Williams with a reception of 8 yards. Henning with a reception of 29 yards. Nachbar 2 receptions for 26 yards. And Luke Martinez a reception for 15 yards. As the Blazers lead by a score of 21-12. And as we look into the second half, I think the same strategy applies. It's going to come down to the defense of the Blazers to stop any kind of momentum right now that the Saints has, because if they get any kind of momentum off any kind of score, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, they're going to feel like they're right back in the game.
They're kind of right back in the game right now, Ryan, after that end of the first half series that got them a touchdown and pulled them to within 9 points, 21-12. So they'll get the ball, I believe, coming out of this second half, and if they can make something happen, obviously that will spark some momentum on their side of the ledger. But you know, really, they've really had to struggle for everything, and if it were not for a couple of bad breaks on that last series, that the Blazers had the ball with a long fumble or with a major penalty, and then a couple of really bad offensive plays in which they lost a lot of yards. Looks like the Blazers, if they don't stub their own toe, they can move the ball pretty effectively whenever they want to. So I'm not sure. I believe they had 5. They only punted. The Blazers only punted once that first half. They had 6 possessions, it looks like, and 2 of those possessions, obviously, were the results of not probably the Saints doing, but their own doing. So it'll be interesting to watch them come out as well, and I think the defense has played pretty good, really, though, Ryan. If you look at 165 yards, 45 of those coming on the long run by, or excuse me, 51 of those coming on the long run by Martinez for the touchdown, and then the other coming on the long pass reception from Scherzer to Nachbar. I believe, well, I don't know how long that pass reception was, but 29 to Henning, excuse me, on the long pass reception to Henning for 29 yards. So you've almost got 85 of those yards of the 165 coming on 2 plays.
The got some scores from Rob Pacheco, as he is always covering our tails on the west side. A couple interesting scores. Hutch over Liberal, 28-7, not a surprise. Salinas South over Hayes right now at the half, 10-7. That's a good close game. Great Bend 14, Salinas Central 7. Carroll shutting out Wichita West 21-0, and Mack is over Emporia by a point, 35-34. So a couple interesting scores on the west side.
Well, and Emporia is a good football team. They play in the I-70 league up there, or the Topeka League, with Junction City Manhattan, and they recently knocked Junction City off in 6A action. So that Emporia team is going to be a team to deal with. As a matter of fact, I believe that was the team that ended McPherson's run last year.
Blazers lead by a score of 21-12. We're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll get set for the kickoff of the second half. You're listening to Blazer Football on the Blazer Broadcast Network and 810 Varsity Sports.
Thanks for tuning in to the Anytime Fitness Halftime Show. The second half is up next on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Officials are a vital part of sporting events around the world. We're in constant need of officials who want to be a part of Kansas high school sports. If you feel you know the game well or just love being around it, visit www.kshaa.org to find out information on how to become an official. You can be a part of something that involves thousands of student athletes every sports season. This has been Jake Beecher from Medicine Lodge High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Prestige Poker League. Join Prestige Poker League Tuesday nights at 7 at Tumbleweeds.
Integrity Communications. Let your used and unused cell phones and electronics benefit your selected not-for-profit agency. Recycle them through Integrity Communications today. Integrity Communications, 408 East Main in Gardner.
Golden Goose Floral. Not just flowers, also see them for your tux rental needs. 404 East Main, across from the Big O.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Ryan Regal and Dave Webb. And Statman, we're giving Duck a night off tonight, dude, because I just got to buy an extra battery, and I do apologize. Darren Hinks with the stats as we're getting set to kick off the second half. The Blazers leading by a score of 21-12. Don't forget Coach's Show tomorrow morning with Coach Diener live from Wally's Neighborhood Bar and Grill, 808 East Main in Gardner, as we will talk about all the, I'm going to, Dave, I'm going to may impress you. I am, by tomorrow morning, by the time you get there, I will have an updated sheet for districts, all 8 of them. Of course, I'm going to do that after I have my burger at Wally's tonight.
You're going to get fired up. And
first things first, I have to have the BBN burger.
No question.
And you know what? You're going to have to try that. Wally said he was going to try it, and he hasn't tried it yet, but he'll put it on the menu as soon as he tries it. That's pretty good stuff. Don't forget the $7 barbecue basket at Wally's Monday night, as Coach Diener will have film night. And I already know he's probably going to be very colorful on Martinez's run on those busted tackles on that touchdown run. That's going to be quite interesting to hear what Coach Diener has to say.
Well, you know, Ryan, we're at the point of the season, though, where Coach Diener's not going to get too excited about it as long as the Blazers come out with a W, because it's just win and move on at this stage of the season. And every game, and he's talked about this often, is that every game at this point is going to feature some pretty good football teams, and they're going to move the ball some, and they're going to make some plays once in a while, and just as his guys are making plays against some of these teams. So you're right. It was a situation where the kids are going to watch on film, and they're going to see that they didn't get around his legs and didn't get him knocked off his feet. Kept trying to take him on up high, and the result was not good for the Blazer defense. But nevertheless, they've been playing pretty well, giving up only 165 yards this first half, and a big chunk of that 165 coming on 2 plays, a long pass play to Henning that took the ball down to the 3-yard line right before half and allowed the Saints to stick that last touchdown in, and then the 51-yard run, I believe, by Martinez early in the second quarter. That allowed the Saints to get their first score in the last 10 quarters of offensive play. So
well, and as we talked about, it's huge for St. Thomas to come back and outscore the Blazers in the second quarter, 12-7, and they're still down by 2 scores, but St. Thomas has had the ability for the field goals, but now we've got Chase Lee, who, we've seen he can put it up from 30, 35 yards out. Well, so the field goal game may come into play.
We saw Chase struggle a little bit last week with his kicks, but boy, he has been booming the ball on the extra points. So I like you, feel pretty confident that if they do get in a situation where they're going to need some points through the field goal area, that 35 in, Chase is going to be pretty solid, or would have a great opportunity to make something good happen for the Blazers.
Man, we don't have basically no wind. There's a slight breeze moving over to the north, but other than that, nothing that's going to affect anything. So this is going to be interesting to find out how St. Thomas comes back out of this. Now all of a sudden, the whole light is changing the quarter. Being down 14-0, could have got away from them. Now they're down by 9 points, and they get the ball. So this is imperative that they get, I'm not going to say imperative yet, but if they can get some good yardage out of this and pin Gardner Edgerton back with bad field position, they may be able to start playing that field position game and start getting something out of it.
Well, and it's going to come down to the trenches, obviously, Ryan. If the Blazers can get their defensive line to put some pressure on Scherzer, that's certainly going to loosen things up, because the long pass to Henning, the 29-yarder, for all intent and purpose was an accident, because he was getting hammered when he made that pass reception, or that pass attempt down the field that was received at the 3.
Kick is deep. Nick Williams going to pick it up at the 4-yard line. He's going to be brought down by Justin Long at the 22. Nice return by Williams.
Well, that's a great tackle by Long, because I think if Williams gets through there,
he had another 30 yards on him.
He has a seam there to take that thing a long way. So nice play by Justin.
So Saints will start their series of downs at the 23-yard line. Here to start the third quarter in week 2 of district play. We'll keep you updated on the Blue Valley-Pittsburgh game, as at the half, Pittsburgh leading Blue Valley 21-7. Scherzer remains in the shotgun, trips to the near side. Luke Martinez in the backfield. Roll out on the option. He's going to hand it off to Martinez. Martinez is going to be brought down by Long, as he's going to get maybe a couple yards on the play.
Justin Long coming into the season third leading point getter, 143 points with 44 solo tackles and 18 assists. First 2 plays out of the half, Justin makes solo tackles there, up in that total to 46. So great start by Justin Long, coming out and giving that defense a big lift here in the first 2 plays.
No gain on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 10. Twins to both sides. Now Scherzer's moving Martinez over to his right side. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself as Bovitz stays home, as Scherzer slips. By nice job by Brett Bovitz to stay home and not bite on the fake.
Well, you can tell, Ryan, by that offensive lineman, the St. Thomas has only 5 offensive linemen. The Blazers are set up in a 3-4 look that allows them to drop 2 outside linebackers and come 5 strong, and then if they decide to bring somebody up the middle, they don't have enough guys to block them. That time they try to roll to the left and boot to the right without blocking Bovitz. He came in untouched.
Trips to the far side, passing for Nick Williams, as Alex Winkler introduces himself. Knocks the ball loose from Williams.
Well, we have seen Alex just get better and better and better throughout the season at that safety position, and there was no better example than that play right there. As they tried to throw underneath, Alex jumped the route, read it well, and come up and put his helmet and shoulder pad right under the armpit of the receiver, dislodging the ball. Nice play by Winkler.
That's exactly what the Saints did not want. Here's a short kick, bouncing at the 42, takes the Blazer roll, rolls all the way back to the 35-yard line, so the Blazers will get excellent field position. Coach Henry's over there pumping his fist. He's ready to go. Coach Bass over there, he's high-fiving players as they come off.
Boy.
And this is a time where this is a Coach Diener play.
Well, you were talking about field position, the importance of the Aquinas doing something, and if nothing else, moving the ball down the field and at least forcing the Blazers deep in their own end. And just the opposite happened. The Blazers couldn't have asked for a better start to this half, as their offense is going to take over on the 35-yard line of St. Thomas Aquinas.
Hobby out of the shotgun, hands off to Wrench. He's going to be tripped up short of the line of scrimmage, as he's going to be tripped up by big number 76. That's going to be Dan Morin.
Be interesting to see, Ryan, if the Blazers can get Trey off the mark a little bit earlier here in the second half. Trey has been so far this year a really strong starter to the ball games, but then a little sluggish coming out after the halftime, and obviously a lot of that's got to be attributed to the blocking that Trey's receiving, but it just doesn't look like he has the same gait to his runs when he comes out second half.
Seymour in motion. Hobby is going to hit Wrench on the flat, and he's going to trip and fall down, and he had 10 yards ahead of him with no blue shirts in the area.
That was the same play they ran for a touchdown in the first half, or the second, I believe that was the first quarter, and Trey just slipped there. He was going to make another long gainer, it looked like. Boy, I cannot be more impressed with the blocking of Seymour and Getzman, Ryan Getzman, and Sparks, Drake Sparks. They are fantastic out there, stock blocking their receivers.
Hobby rolling out. He has Wrench, breaks one tackle, leans up ahead. It's going to be close. His knee was down just short of the 20 or short of the 25-yard line. We'll have to check the spot, but nice job by Hobby to find Wrench. And Wrench to break a tackle, lean up ahead, and they're going to move the chains for a first down.
Hey, there was a playmaker, a play made by our quarterback playmaker, Jared Hobby, right there. He's scrambling around a little bit, moves around to the right, buys some time. He's looking downfield, and finally finds his dump-off route is Trayvon Wrench, who slipped by the guy that he's blocking, almost kind of like a screen play, and Trey took that ball and made a first down out of it. Nice play by both Hobby and Trey.
A few yards on the carry.
I believe that was Seymour coming on the jet, and just not much happening there. He takes it on the jet, moving to his left, and has to stop, tries to cut it upfield, but pretty congested up the middle there, as the Saints did a good job of forcing Tim to cut that thing upfield, and boy, when he did, the linebackers were right there to meet Trey for a short, or Tim for a short gain.
It's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 22. Blazers up 21-12. Hobby looking down for Getzman. Pass complete at the 7-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Blazers.
I tell you, that's a big
pass.
Big time throw and a big time route by Getzman. He drives his man all the way to the goal line, stops at the goal line, comes back to the, or just inside the 5, near the goal line, comes back to about the 3.
Rolls him back in at the 7 for the completion.
And boy, that was a great timing pattern because Hobby put it right on Getzman's numbers.
Farai right, Wrench with the ball, slips through, bounces into a Blazer, leans up ahead. He's going to be just short of the of the touchdown in the 3rd quarter. A field goal by Pittsburgh, 24-7 over Blue Valley.
Where's that game at?
That's at Blue Valley.
Out Blue Valley. Wow.
And I drove by there working today, and they were even bringing in extra stands on the north side of the field.
Well, I tell you what, that is a stunner. That's a stunner.
That will be the upset
of the year.
If that stays through.
Wow.
So 1st and goal, handoff, or Hobby's going to keep it himself, leaning up ahead. As we finally get a late signal, it's going to be a touchdown Blazers as they go up ahead, 27-12.
Right behind number 50. Greg Hopper to push that ball across the goal line. Hobby did a nice job taking the quarterback sneak, pushing in behind Hopper, and right beside Caden White. It looked like
they go for now. They're going to go for 1. I thought maybe they'd go for 2, but just take the points right now. As Chase Lee's getting set for the extra point. Kick is up, and have to check it. It's no good, off to the left.
A little bit of a high snap, threw the timing off there. Ryan and Chase just pulled it, but got good leg into it.
But nevertheless, at 7-11, Blazers take advantage of the short field and take a 27-12 lead. We'll be back with the kickoff. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Pizza Hut. Got your iPhone? Order Pizza Hut. PizzaHut.com.
Cook Family Chiropractic. If your student is in need of a sports physical, Dr. Brian Cook can get it done for you. Call Dr. Cook at 856-0200.
Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed. Check out their new paint department, including their new paint tinter and Clark's and Kensington paint and primer in one. Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed, 240 North Moonlight in Gardner.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Brian Ragland and Dave Webb. Darren Hinks back with you at the Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed broadcast booth. Blazers lead 27-12. Chase Lee with the kickoff as it goes back to the 2-yard line. Nick Williams picks it up, goes across the 20-yard line, spins around, and he's going to be brought down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Saints.
Really good kickoff there by Chase as he got a lot of height on that kickoff, driving Williams back to the 10-yard line. And then great coverage by the Blazer defensive kickoff team as they are really sprinting down that field. That's pretty good to get the kick to the 2 and then hold the return to the 20-yard line. So great job there. 18-yard net return on that play.
So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Saints. Loaded backfield. Single wideouts. As Scherzer hands it off to the tailback Williams, he leans up ahead, gets up to the 25-yard line, give him about 5 yards on the carry.
Well, they're playing football in a phone booth on that particular play.
Kind of like that.
All 20.
Oh, by the way,
all 22 guys were in on that pile.
We'll have to see how this works out.
Pick up a 5, 2nd down 5.
Chad Rader with A10 Varsity Sports sent me an email earlier today. Said he was predicting a 34-10 Blazer win. He's not too far off right now.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Well, if he starts doing that, I'll just ask him for what the game's going to be and just mail it in. 2nd and 5 from the 25. Williams with the carry again, breaks one tackle, runs into a host of white shirts, but they're going to give him forward progress up to the 28, make it 3rd and short.
Well, obviously, Coach Diener and Coach Henry talked a little bit about that defensive effort swarming to the football because they are just flying up there and everybody trying to get a hand on the pile. I know that was a concern of Coach Henry's a couple of weeks ago, and that's something they really stressed was running to the ball.
Coming up with the same set. Both Martinez left and right, Williams in the backfield for Scherzer. Williams on the 3rd time, leans up ahead. He hits a host of white shirts again. Looks like he was being led by Matt Plank.
All he had to do was cross the 30.
And I don't think he got to the 29.
Yeah, I think they moved it.
Wow, he did get forward progress.
Yeah.
That's a.
Williams carries for the 1st down.
It's going to be a 1st down for the Saints from the 30-yard line.
1st and 10.
But I'll tell you right now, Williams will not last long on that formation, on that dive play, over and over and over.
No, he's kind of taking a pounding on that particular play as Plank and McDermott really flying to the football.
Fake the handoff to Williams. Scherzer looks left, looks right again, and tries to shuttle the ball and have a fumble. I don't know what he was doing, and it was hard for me to tell, but looks like it might have went into a Blazer hands to begin with.
Well, the official threw the yellow flag. I don't know if or did he throw the little?
I thought he threw the beanie, but that
beanie? Okay,
looked like it.
That's the beanie.
I thought that might have tried to be a shuttle pass in hopes of it being a incomplete pass.
Pretty risky, whatever it was.
Yeah. I wouldn't have tried it again. So they're staying with the same formation on the 5th or the 6th play in a row. Hand it off to Williams again. Spins around, leans up ahead to the 30-yard line.
Nick Williams once again on the
Still going to be 3rd and about 11.
Well, that defensive secondary still disguising coverages and doing a lot of stemming, which is where they'll show an alignment pre-snap, and then they'll break out of it or shift out of it while the quarterback's calling his cadence. Another big down here, 3rd and 11.
You can hear the Blazers fans standing up, trying to get the defense fired up. Trips to the near side for the Saints. 3:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Scherzer looking straight down, pass intended for Williams, but overthrown. If he'd have brought that down, that would have been a 1st down because nice coverage by Winkler, but if he had the backside of Williams and Williams was open for the reception.
Well, Coach Henry brought some heat and tried to move that pocket back, and I think Scherzer was feeling a little bit. He really tried to rifle that down the field, but it was really a couple feet over Williams' head. So great job by that defense for the Blazers.
So a high punt that's going to be fair caught by Austin Goldsmith at the 36-yard line of the Blazers. Now I'm gonna take you back. If you remember a situation kind of like this, last time we were here, kind of the same similar score or point spread, maybe a little bit more. Coach Diener at about this time, but it was early in the third quarter, in this going the same direction about the same field, took 9 minutes off the clock. Do you take that theory into hand?
Well, he would if they can tackle him often enough.
He'll take the 1 yard. He'll take the one play if that's what it takes. Wrench tries the little dance inside, but nothing happening there. Up to the 36 line of scrimmage, going to be 2nd and 10.
Well, the Blazers really finding it tough sledding right up the middle.
10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Blue Valley had a touchdown pass. The PAT was good, 24-14. Pittsburgh still up going into the fourth quarter.
Well, we know Blue Valley has one of the top quarterbacks in the metro area in Zimmerman, and their 10 points certainly isn't anything they can't overcome.
Pass complete to Lang at the 40-yard line, as he's going to get about 4 yards on the reception.
Lucky to hang on to that pass, as it was a little out, 5 and out, and Jared put it right on the button. I think Jared is 6 for 6 on the night. 8 out of 9, so that's a pretty good night.
I'd take that
for a guy. Jared comes into the game 605 yards passing on a 43 out of 99 attempts.
Yeah.
So he's certainly upping that percentage.
Here's Wrench bouncing it to the outside, has a first down. Gets tackled at the 47-yard line by Henning.
Boy, didn't you think that Trey just had a little bit more pickup in his motor on that particular play? Boy, he really came hard off the snap that time, looking for that first down. And Ryan maybe not quite as slow as 9 minutes, but the Blazers certainly, they've already taken a minute and about 20 off the clock since you noted that Coach Diener had taken 9 minutes off in a drive here the last time the Blazers played in this stadium.
I'll give you an email here in a second and a compliment for both of us, which I greatly appreciate. Power right set, 1st and 10. Hand the ball off to Clayton Dye. He means up ahead, not much going. Got an email from Tim Sawchak. I hope I'm
sure.
Said, giving us the update, Pittsburgh 24-14 at the end of the third quarter. By the way, your broadcast is 100 times better than the Blue Valley broadcast.
Well, Mr. Sawchek's awesome. He's got a boy, Ben, that's over at Pioneer Ridge, plays some football for the Jaguars, and Tim does a great job of contributing to the successes of athletics over there. He was a chain gang member for this past football season, which we really appreciate.
That's the second best seat in the field to watch a game. Wrench with the ball, smashes up ahead. He's going to be down at the 49-yard line, make it about 3rd and a long 5 for the Blazers. I'm kind of surprised they're doing a little bit more inside dives and instead of taking advantage of the speed and get it more outside, unless they're setting it up for different plays though.
Well, they're interesting to see some of the substitutions. Max Knorr in there, I believe, or is that Connor, I guess, and Mio Gray getting some big minutes tonight.
Tommy rolling off to the left side. That pass is going to be tipped.
Looked like he was going deep for the curl to Getzman again, down about 15 yards. Looked like Jared kind of sidearm slung that one. It got a little low release.
He might have been trying to get around defender, but it looks like Sam Schmidt with the tip pass. So it's going to be 4th and 6, and the Blazers are going to be forced to punt.
Well, that was a big stop by St. Thomas Aquinas right there.
27 seconds to go in the third quarter. As the Saints are getting ready, or the Blazers are getting ready to punt the ball. Back deep is Nick Williams standing on his 12-yard line. Kick to the left side, kicks away from him, as it's going to be out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Oh, by the way, not only does he do very good stats, but Darren Hinks, pretty good with the camera.
Now running the camera.
Multifaceted. He's got 2 contracts. Plus, I hear he does okay with electricity once in a while, too. Not sure what that means, but I hear it's like a side job for him.
To the rock to meet Coach Bass at the rock.
21 seconds to go in the third quarter. Blazers up 27-12. As the Saints will have the ball 1st and 10 on their 30-yard line. Crowded trips to the near side. Scherzer goes with a reverse to Nick Williams, and he's got a lot of green field ahead of him. He's going to try to bounce it to the outside. He's across the 40 and the 30. One man to beat. He's going to be brought down by Austin Goldsmith. And that was the perfect time for that play to be called.
Well, there's one of those trick plays you're talking about, and that Coach Diener said we've got to be alive for on the night. Great call by... they've got a flag over there, looks like. I don't know if they're going to get holding, but it's still going to be a pretty sizable gain because it'll be a spot foul.
Well, I think it's on the Blazers. They're talking to Matt Clemens, who's one of the team captains. Or now they're talking to Williams. Okay. Okay, so Clemens was coming up just asking about the penalty, and Coach Diener's like, yeah, we want to take him back. But it's still going to be a first down.
Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot.
So give Williams a gain. Give Williams a gain from the 30 to the 45. So that's a 25-yard gain and then a 10-yard penalty going back. So it's going to be all the way back to the 45-yard line of the Saints.
You're right, Ryan. It was a great call, though. They lined up trips over here on the right side and then tried to sell the option, and it worked because they've run the option a couple of times tonight. So it looked like it was a pretty natural play, and then caught one of the receivers, Williams, going back against the grain, caught the Blazers in a man-to-man coverage, and if you watch the defender on the wideout on that side, he never took his eyes off of his defender, and that's the way they're coached. So Williams was running down the field without any pursuit.
Scherzer looking deep. Pass was intended for Baska as he had Baska turned around, and he couldn't get turned around to catch the pass.
Just not the receivers that we've grown to be impressed with by this St. Thomas Aquinas offense, Ryan, over the years. Just Baska could have very easily had that. Scherzer putting the ball up there, giving his receivers a chance, and that particular play there, Baska could have made that catch easily for a first down.
So 2nd and 10 on the 45. Fake the handoff. Try to get Martinez. Busted play. Being chased by Williams. Scherzer gets around the corner, but he's going to be brought down by Long. As Scherzer did a nice job just getting the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, it's just been my observation, and I hope it's objective, but it just has looked like the Blazers have been more physical and just a faster presence on the field, both
just
sides of the football. And boy, I don't know that we can say that is the case week in, week out this year, and certainly not if that hasn't been the case against this St. Thomas Aquinas program. So the Blazers really
looks like there's just a little extra into it.
Yeah, it really does. And
I want to say a big thanks to Christian Brothers Roofing. If you're going to trust the roof over your head, you need to trust the roofing company. With Christian Brothers Roofing Company, you've got years of experience and integrity. Don't wait until you know there's a problem. Contact Christian Brothers Roofing for a complimentary 16-point roof and gutter inspection. Give them a call at 816-453-ROOF or at 453roof.com. Have you checked your roof lately, Dave?
No, but it sounds like I need to.
Hey, 16-point free inspection.
There you go.
You can't beat free. You know what else you can't beat? The BB&M Burger at Wally's at overtime. You knew I was going to throw that in, didn't you?
Well, and why wouldn't you?
Well,
people like to talk about things they like.
The BB&M Burger, I like it.
And you like it?
It's really good. All right, here we go. Start of the fourth quarter. It's do or die for the Saints. Down by 15, 27-12. Handoff goes to Henning. Henning's going to pass it down. Pass intended for Nockbar. Pass is incomplete. and just let him a little too much.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Thomas deciding it's time to pull the stops out, and why wouldn't you? You're in the fourth quarter. They ran the sprint, or the speed option, or not the speed option, but the jet sweep around the left edge, and usually that's be a tough play for a right-handed player. Not a tough play for left-handed though.
Well, unless you're Jared Hobby and you're used to rolling out to your offside. So it's 4th and 9 from the 47, as the Saints are going to be forced to punt again, as they're going to have to stop the Blazers 3 and out. Austin Goldsmith lets the punt down, and almost down at the 1 was Joel Edwards, but he couldn't get the handle on it. He slides into the end zone and ends up going to be a touchback. So what could have been disastrous for the Blazers ends up being a good break, as they will get the ball at the 20.
What a mistake by St. Thomas Aquinas there. All they need to do, Brendan Nockbar, little sidewinder pooch punt down there. They got a great roll, went down inside the 5. All Edwards needed to do was just toss that thing back a little ways instead of trying to catch it. And then when he did, his feet fell out from under him and skidded into the end zone there. So tough break for the Aquinas, for the Saints. Great break for the Blazers.
Wrench with the ball, breaks one tackle, doesn't get away from the next one. It's going to be brought down by Henry Kraus.
Well, Kraus fired up. He was over here on the sideline trying to get his guys going. They ran that power play to the right. The Blazers ran that power off-tackle play to the right side. I believe that's the G play. It's hard to tell. Sometimes they pull the guard and G-scheme that, and sometimes they zone block that with the two big lead backs leading Trey through. And that time Kraus came through on the backside and ran Trayvon down. He's fired up, trying to get his teammates to go here this last 11 minutes.
Take a look what Hobby's doing. Running the play clock down under 10 seconds. Seymour on jet. And the pass is going to be complete.
That's Jermaine Lang.
Jermaine Lang, he's going to cross the 45-yard line to 40. He's going to be brought down hard by Dylan Moore, but not before.
Well, Jermaine
Lang has a completion.
He just sets up in the window right there. He goes down about 10 yards, stops, shows his number to Jared. Jared does a little play-action pass, puts it right over the outside linebacker's arms, and Jermaine then takes off, kind of got lost in the window there on the Saints defense. When he turned around, he just had nobody and just tried to split the Saints safeties for a long game.
Taking a look, we just went ahead and got on A10 Varsity Sports, as Blue Valley has just scored on a long touchdown pass. We'll have to see what we get on the score. I couldn't see the scoreboard, but Blue Valley just scores long. Seymour with the ball leans up to the first line of scrimmage.
Well, the Saints really crowding the line of scrimmage now, trying to stop that Blazer run, expecting Coach Diener to start dialing up Trey's number here to try to polish off this last 10 minutes of this game. And so it may behoove Coach to call the play-action pass and let Hobby chuck some down the field.
In the fourth quarter, 6:54, and I'm trying to figure out exactly, I'm getting updates from Rob Pacheco, but the last one he gave me, 31-14 Pitt over Blue Valley, but Blue Valley just scored as to what I saw, so it may be 31-21, but there's not much. Yep, 31-21. Scott Welglos just texting me. As Wrench on that carry doesn't get any yards on the plate, so it's going to be 3rd and 10. But right now it's 31-21 Pitt over Blue Valley, and I'm not sure how much time is left.
That's remarkable. Boy, do you not have to tip your hat to Pittsburgh and the coaching staff down there.
Clock at 9:11, play clock down to 12, as Hobby is letting the play clock run below 10 each time. As he rolls off to the right side, he's looking down for Seymour on the hook. And they should have a pass interference on Vasquez. He had a handful of jersey, but the pass falls incomplete.
Seymour's got to catch that ball.
Yeah.
That hit him right in the breadbasket there. Even though it was a little bit low, Timmy went down on his knees. That ball hit him right in the sternum. Jared throwing that ball right where he needs to because he doesn't want to put it up and run the risk of letting the defender drive that inside side of the receiver and take one back to the house for 6 points. So he threw a good ball there, and it was just past the stakes. It would have been a first down, I believe. So tough break there for Jared Hobby as he tried to deliver to Timmy Seymour.
So Blazers are going to punt. Long is going to get a low line drive. It's going to bounce at about the 20-yard line. They'll mark it about the 21. That score by Blue Valley was a kickoff return. And Dave, take a look at the stands as we take a look at the GameCast on A10 Varsity Sports. Not a whole lot of Pittsburgh people showed up for that one.
Well, you got to think they didn't feel like they had much of a chance after the shellacking they took last week at the hands of the Blazers. But, boy, I tell you what, you've really got to tip your hat and commend that that Pittsburgh squad, their coaching
How fired
staff.
up is Pittsburgh going to be next week taking on the St. Thomas team?
Well, that'll be down there if I'm not mistaken.
I think it.
Surely Pittsburgh's not playing 3 district games on the road.
No, it'll be down there. So 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line, 8:54 to go in the game. Handoff to Henning. He's going to try to pass the ball. Pass is going to be incomplete. Intended for number 85, Devin Vickers.
Well, Henning comes back in after being injured there in the first half on a pass reception that he tried to make in the back of the end zone. Looks like he's recovered nicely to the point where he's made a couple of pretty nice throws.
Yeah. So clock stopped at 8:49, 2nd and 10. Twins to both sides. Hands the ball off to Williams. Barely gets by Marcus Williams. Brings it back inside. He's not going to get much on the play.
Well, the beautiful thing about tonight's game and the types of players that Aquinas has in Scherzer and Williams, their quarterback and tailback, is they had great practice last week against Pittsburgh in the same types of athletes that Pittsburgh threw at the Blazers. So, boy, they really got a chance to see a really athletic, quick, running-oriented quarterback last week at Pittsburgh High, and the running back was the same deal. And they've been able to keep Scherzer and Williams in check most of the night.
So 3rd and 9 from the 23. Scherzer looking to the left side, steps up, and he's going to keep it himself. Gets away from Moore, breaks a couple tackles, leans up ahead. And the gamer shows what he's about, leans up ahead enough for the first down.
Well, sure as I say that, he breaks off a 10-yard first down run there. So nice play by Scherzer there. And the Blazers had a couple of chances at him. He made a good play in dodging and darting and getting past the Blazer defenders over here. Playmakers, when they get out in space, Ryan, they're just hard to contain, and and it becomes a game of athleticism as opposed to scheme. And you've just got to really admire kids that can get out there and make plays on their own.
So 1st and 10 from the 34. Scherzer rolling out to the left side. Pump fakes, pulls it back in, brought down by Bovitz and driven out of bounds. They're going to give him about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Bovitz not taking any kind of fake there and just wrapped Scherzer up and brought him down there. Good play by Bovitz. Bovitz really playing, I think, some of his best football, if not his best football of all time here the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's got 9 tackles tonight, 29 points last week.
And he was the leading tackler last week, too.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 6 from the 38, clock running, 7 minutes to go. Pass out to Williams out in the flat, spins around. He's going to be brought down by Long.
But he made enough yards to make this 3rd down play a very manageable play. You got to think Aquinas is in 4-down territory now all over the field with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this football game, down 27-12.
So 3rd and 2 from the 42-yard line. Out of the shotgun, should have a flag on Martinez moving, and I think that's what we're going to get, a late flag. Martinez over here on the slot, and he kind of stutter stepped just before the snap.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Taking a look at the game cast, Pittsburgh all the way down to Blue Valley's 23-yard line, and they are just going to upset the Tigers. This is just, it's not, I want to say surprising, impressive. I don't want to say surprising because we knew how good this Pittsburgh team was, but we didn't think they would do this.
Well, I think it's surprising, Ryan. I think you'd be okay saying surprise.
Scherzer with a pass out. It's going to be out of bounds, over the head of Vasca.
Here comes another big 4th down.
Stops the clock at 6:02.
Pass goes incomplete. Bring up 4th down.
And they are going to punt it. That really surprises me.
At 6:02, yeah, I wouldn't think they would punt it.
Well, I guess you bank on a drop punt or some kind of a turnover at this stage. Nottmark gets off a pretty good punt as the Blazers didn't even put a return man down. They were thinking kind of like I was. This time the ball gets down inside the 5 and they don't mess up. They get it down there by Joel Edwards again. This time he gets it down to about looks like they're going to mark it at the 3.
That's about what it's going to be right now. All you need to do with 5 minutes, probably get 2 first downs, Dave? Is that what you're looking at? About 2 first downs?
Yeah.
Sew it up. You're up by 15 anyway.
Yeah.
So you're on, you're still on 2 full possessions.
Blue Valley 21.
But right now you stay in bounds. Do not get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Well, they just made the announcement over the intercom. That score 31-21, Pittsburgh over Blue Valley High, and
the crowd goes, ooh.
Some of them didn't react because I'm pretty sure they thought that was a
miss.
They didn't believe what they heard.
Right. Here's Wrench with the ball. Lanes up ahead to about the, about the 7-yard line. And I would look for that. I would look for that game clock, or that play clock, to go all the way down to about 5.
Ryan, an interesting note about these two teams is that even though they're going to remain in the EKL, the Blazers going up to Class 6A, they will not be playing each other the next 2 years. The schedule just recently released, and the Blazers and this Saints rivalry will cease here for at least 2 years.
That sucks. Wrench with the ball, smashes up ahead. And I hadn't seen the new schedule for next year yet, so that's...
Well, you run it with the new district alignments, and the Blazers going up to 6A, their 3 district opponents are not in the EKL, which then leaves them only 6 games to try to get in the EKL, and they weren't able to make that happen when the 6A...
When you have 7 teams.
Because of the Blue Valley schedules over there, and some of their guys are in the same district.
Right.
They had to pick up games early, and the Blazers couldn't.
Wrench stutter steps. He gets stopped at the 6-yard line. Nice job on that left side by the Saints defense.
The Aquinas, the Saints just daring Coach Diener to call passes at this point. They're just stacking the box, and we've got
and we have
a little entertainment.
We have a streaker. Yes, we do. That should be a flag, as security is going to go after him as he goes back into the woods. Oh, where's Ray Stevens when you need him? And I'll tell you right now, there's a residential area back off that southeast corner. I'll guarantee he has a getaway car. He has a getaway car ready. He's not going to stick around too long. On another note, Pittsburgh's going for a field goal in Blue Valley, and that should be a penalty. I miss what the announcer said.
Well, a little sense of humor over here in the St. Thomas Aquinas announcing press box, as he said that young man just went for 102 yards.
My question is, where did he get the 2 yards at? Oh, so Coach Diener's going to call a timeout with 1 second left, stopping the game clock at 3:33.
Kind of caused people to lose focus here, but this is a big play here. The Blazers need to get this punt out, 4th down on their own, looks like about 7-yard line, and they've got to get this punt off without it being blocked. And actually, Justin has really struggled punting here. The last 2 or 3 punts have netted only about an average of 15 yards a kick.
Yeah.
So if they continue that trend, Aquinas could easily have the ball inside the 30-yard line if Justin can't get a pretty decent kickoff here.
I'm going to ask you a question. They didn't start chasing the guy till after he was over the fence.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a little bit quicker to chase him or go meet him at the fence before he got there?
Well,
I mean,
your point is well taken.
I'm just saying.
It's just not like they get a lot of practice at that kind of thing. I think they were just shell-shocked for a little bit.
Well, they were walking for a little bit. They were walking for a little bit, and then he gets to the fence and starts climbing. Then the guy started running.
Yeah, like the fence was going to, like he was going to stay inside the fence and just, surely they didn't think that was going to happen.
Justin Long with the punt, and he gets a good one off, and it's going to bounce at the 35-yard line, take a good Blazer bounce. Williams is going to pick it up. He's going to get down at the 45-yard line with 3:22 to go in the game as Pittsburgh just kicked, I believe, about a 37-yard field goal, somewhere in that area, and they now lead 34-21.
I don't think you could ask for a better play by Nick Long or on that last punt.
No, that worked out pretty well.
I said
Justin.
Nick. I meant Justin. Justin Long. Justin kicked that thing out of his end zone and got a tremendous roll. And starting the Aquinas offense at the 45-yard line is just an absolutely tremendous play by Justin on that last punt.
Pass intended for Williams, throws it behind him. Williams had to turn all the way around, extend out, and barely touched it.
And that was almost a great catch by Williams as he was running a little crossing slant route there.
The score update over at Blue Valley. It wasn't a field goal. That was a point after touchdown. 38-21, 3:46 to go on the clock. Wow. Congratulations to Pittsburgh. There's another pass intended for Williams.
Goodness.
Alex Winkler coming in.
Alex has delivered the bomb a couple of times
He
out
has.
there. And that time they ran exactly the same play. The Blazers were in different coverage this time, though, so it was going to be the safety's responsibility to come up and make that play after the completion. And the ball again thrown behind Williams a little bit. The last play, Scherzer had to throw it behind because there was a linebacker, Matt Plank, standing in the way. This time he had a wide open Williams streaking, no pun intended there, across.
Right. 3:14 to go on the clock. Scherzer trying to find a receiver. He's going deep. Pass complete to Henning. Winkler on the tackle, but Henning with a nice catch, nice pitch by Scherzer. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Saints from the Blazers 16.
Boy, we've just seen that happen enough by Scherzer and Henning that you wonder why they haven't gone that combination a little bit more often.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because Scherzer, they don't feel like he'll have the time, because he does throw the ball into duress, and man, he's just like Jared Hobby, he really stands in there.
As the pass falls incomplete, intended for Henning again.
Had Henning open over there. Justin Long was trailing and was a little bit behind him, but Scherzer was getting harassed by the outside linebacker pressure there. He couldn't get anything on the throw. Henning has 2 receptions for 60 yards, a 29-yarder and a 33-yarder, it looks like.
2:57 to go on the clock. Saints down by 15, 27-12. They need to get in at a 2-point conversion, then the onside kick. So they have the ball in the... Oh, Matt Plank coming in on the handoff to Martinez, and he says, let's just end this early.
Wow, you look at that formation. Look at the
blitz.
formation, though. You got to wonder why the St. Thomas won't challenge the matchup on the right side of the field, and that is when they run the quads to the left side, the trips to the left side, one receiver to the right side, the trips are into the boundary. They've got almost half of the field over there that Luis Avila is going to be, they are asking Lewis to guard it. I believe that is Neil Haas, a 6'6", 158-pound receiver out there that I'm not sure that Lewis can stay with him over there one-on-one, but you'd have to throw it over there to see what a mismatch, at least on paper, that looks like size-wise. And boy, they really have a lot of field to work with. So they can run a stop route, they can run an in, they can run a slant, they can run a corner route. They about can run anything they want to, and try to put Lewis on an island over there.
I'm going to give you something we haven't thought about. We haven't talked about. If St. Thomas gets in, I'm going to say it's imperative that the Blazers stop the Saints from getting in, because right now the Blazers can add another 13 points onto their total right now. And with a minus 13 of Blue Valley, that would literally guarantee the Blazers getting in. So this is not a, okay, we're just going to go ahead and wait. It's imperative the Blazers stop the Saints right here just for the points. 2:39 to go. 3rd and 14 from the 15-yard line. Trips to the far side. Scherzer going for Henning in the end zone. Pass complete for a touchdown, Saints.
Boy, that's just challenging man-to-man coverage. There were trips to the right, twins to the left. Blazers were coming with heat up the middle, and that left those receivers one-on-one out there with the defenders. Scherzer looked like the matchup, went with Henning. That's Henning's 3rd reception on the night, all big receptions, and his first touchdown. 25-yarder there. That gives him a total of about 75 yards. Actually, it's about 85 yards. 15-yard reception, sure, for a total of 75 yards for Henning on the night and 1 touchdown reception. Blocked the extra point. That was huge.
And I'm not sure why you go for the extra point.
Well, that gives them
here's 11.
Yeah, but that would have put them 19.
Yeah, but if they 19, it still would have.
That's an 8 point. Isn't that 8? That's
yeah,
an
right now it's still 9 points, but
they make the extra point. He's trying to get within 1 score and a 2-point conversion, but now he obviously that was huge. So now there's still a two-score differential, which certainly saved the Blazers from probably any imminent danger of losing this football game. But like you said, it sure got into the point total a little bit there. Not bad though. The down 9.
It's still 9. It'd be a 22-point if they grab this one. And I think, and if I think I saw right, Blue Valley just scored. So we'll have to. Got to say another shout out. Tanya Lawrence is listening. She's checking in. Got an email from her. She's homesick, so she had to listen and watch a football game instead of go to it, so she might as well do it at home. Picked a good game to watch, too, I believe.
Yeah, I would agree.
As here's the Saints go for the onside kick, as Justin Long is going to wrap this one after the 48-yard line with a clock at 2:33. Diener wants to score. He wants his points back.
Well, he knows all about the 13-point deal in district play, so
all too well.
So I'm sure that he's telling those guys over there, we're going to give it to Trey.
It's a free kick infraction on the kicking team. Free kick.
They're going to re-kick. I don't think they had enough people on the far side because you have to have 4 on one side, don't you?
I'm not sure, or were they just simply offside?
Well, he said infraction. I would figure he would say offsides, but I'm not. Is that not a penalty you cannot decline?
Well, and I think we saw that last week. And evidently you cannot decline that penalty if you're the kick team. or if you're the receiving team. Because certainly the Blazers would have if they could have.
So Saints lining up like they're going to kick off, and now they shift over for the onside kick, so they get another chance at it. As this one's going to bounce out of bounds, bounces over the hands of Justin Long, and that's just as good as the Blazers recovering it.
Yeah, sure is.
So the Blazers will have the ball at 2:32 to go in the game, up by 9, and we'll have to see what kind of happens. And now, Pittsburgh just scored against Blue Valley. I'll have to get a text from Rob and find out. In fact, let me check my messages. 2:37 left to go. Wow. Are you ready for this, Dave? 2:37 to go left. Blue Valley inside backfired. Pittsburgh touchdown, 45-28. Wow. Here's Wrench with the ball off to the left side. He's going to be down after about a yard on the play.
Boy, Trey really staying low when he's running the football there as St. Thomas calls a timeout. Trey covering that ball up with 2 hands also.
So Coach Diener's going to call a timeout. I want to say a huge thanks to all the sponsors on 810 Varsity Sports. Kansas City Command season tickets are on sale for the 2012 season. Just give them a call at 855 KC Arena. Mr. Goodsense, where $5 foot-long subs are back. Christian Brothers Roofing, give them a call at 816-453-ROOF for a complimentary 16-point roof and gutter inspection. Realty 1.5, give them a call at 302-7886. Nick and Jake's, Smoothie King, and 810 Varsity Sports. Also, a lot of the sponsors on the Blazer Broadcast Network: Anytime Fitness, Ace Dent Removal, Gardner National Bank, Wally's Neighborhood Bar and Grill, Golden Goose Floral, Hickman Heating and Air, Pizza Hut, Ace, Anytime Fitness, America's Computers, Cook Family Chiropractic, Trails West, Ace Hardware and Feed, and Prestige Poker. Blazers lead 27-18, 2:22 to go. Got a power left set by the Blazers. Toss sweep, Wrench trying to find a hole, bounces it, almost had it bounce. Knockbar with a saving tackle.
Well, this is a huge play right here for the Blazers. They can kind of put this thing away with a first down. And like you, Ryan, I still think they're probably interested in scoring a touchdown to get that point differential over 13. That would give the Blazers the maximum plus 26 in district play at this stage. Right now they stand at plus 21. Now they're strong to the right side, I believe, or no, they're back to the left side. Yeah. He's not going to make it.
He's not going to get there on the drive, on the run. He's going to be stopped a couple yards short.
Well, I'm about bet that they're going to go for it this particular time.
So we're going to give Gardner Edgerton, let's just say as it stands now, Gardner Edgerton with 9 points added here. So they're going to be plus 22 at 2-0. Pittsburgh and Blue Valley will be tied at 1-1 with 0 points. And St. Thomas will be 0-2 at minus 26. So, yeah, Blue Valley is going to be fighting for the points that they can get, and Pittsburgh is going to be on a drive. They're going to be pushing hard for their game down there next week.
Well, you got to think Pittsburgh's in pretty good position right now.
They're
in a really good position to knock Blue Valley out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, you're thinking the game of in Class 5A is shaping up to be the Blazers and Blue Valley High to win the district. It wouldn't be a question of who's going to go to the playoffs, just simply to win the district. And now you're looking at a scenario where next week's game could be such that it eliminates Blue Valley from making the playoffs.
We were talking about Schlegel being 6-0 and going 0-2 possibly. And now you turn around, look at Blue Valley being ranked #1 in Class 5A and have a possibility of not even
making the playoffs.
Wow. That's huge. think Coach Diener liked that little chance there. Have a rematch with Bishop Miege. As we're going to have a penalty.
Wow, the Blazers went into the huddle, said we're going on 2. Don't anybody move. We're going on 2. And they went on 2, and big Caden White went firing across there.
We'll have to check the penalties. The white hat comes out.
Dead ball start. Offense.
That just changes everything.
Still 4th down.
But you know what? You
Yeah.
still go for it?
Nope, he punts it now.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Coach Diener's not, I'm not sure who he's getting after. I'm not sure if he's getting after, I think he may be getting after Hobby. Because I don't think the ball moved. So Justin Long is getting set to punt the ball with 1:30 to go in the game. Saints down by 9. As he kicks this one kind of away from Williams, he bobbles it a little bit, picks it back up, breaks one tackle, spins around. He's going to be down at the 30-yard line with 1:20 to go in the game.
Another tremendous pump by Justin Long there. He kicks it away from Williams enough to where, had Williams been able to catch that ball in the dead run, he may have had something cooking down the left sideline, but he kicked it low. He couldn't quite get there, just far enough away from Williams. They couldn't quite get there. He had to field it low off of his shoe tops, dropped it. By the time he picked it back up and took off, Blazers closed in on him and brought him down at the 30. Nice play by the punt team.
Blue Valley just now scoring against Pittsburgh as Zimmerman on the rollout just scored, so we'll have to get a score check on that one.
Pittsburgh in that prevent defense that prevents them from stopping anybody.
Scherzer looking downfield. He's got a man open. Pass complete at the 40-yard line. Pass complete to number 27. That's Joel Edwards. And I'll tell you right now, you may be seeing your starting quarterback next year for the Saints.
I don't think there's any
Mr.
question.
Henry is a very
We'll see if we can get some other scores around the state here in a little bit. 27-18. Clock at 1:10. Scherzer looking deep again. Pass is going to be way overthrown. Winkler puts a dive at it, but it's out of reach.
Williams puts a big hit on Scherzer there.
Lewisburg big over Osawatomie. Baldwin over Santa Fe Trail. St. James Academy over Bishop Ward. And St. James Academy, or no, I was thinking of Sumner. Olathe South over Blue Valley North, or Blue Valley West, 39-23.
Wow, Olathe East big over Blue Valley Northwest. That's a little bit of a surprise after Northwest knocks off South.
Pass intended for Edwards. Pass ball is incomplete. Lansing over Schlegel, 33-12. So Schlegel needs a whole lot of help. They are pretty much done. Blue Valley Southwest, 15-0 over DeSoto. Coach Bill Lowe has the Jaguars going very nicely, or Timberwolves, excuse me. Clock at 1:01, 3rd and 10 for the Saints. Scherzer looking downfield. Pass intended for Henning, almost intercepted as Scherzer takes another hit. Now it's 45-35 Pittsburgh. Clock stopped at 56. Seconds left to go in the game. You can hear the Blazer crowd standing up and getting excited. Try to get them pumped up. Scherzer running around, underdress again, throws it up. Matt Plank with a nice job, just knocking the ball down as Nick Williams was going up for it. It's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Blazers, Dave, for all intents and purposes, are in the playoffs.
Plank on the knockdown throw.
And
Marcus Williams
have a chance to go for the, not the number 1 seed, but I would guess about the number 2 seed, because you got to think that Bishop Miege is going to have the number 1 seed.
That's correct. Well, that's a great defensive stand after giving up the long pass to Joel Edwards. Marcus Williams really coming off the left side right in the face of Scherzer those last 3 plays, putting a hit on him 3 times in a row. Never got the sack, but boy, I don't know how much closer he could get. He threw that, he caused Scherzer to kind of pop the last one up in the air as the Blazers go into the victory formation with Hobby under center and Trayvon just back deep. Guys kind of congratulating each other right now. No, this was a hard-fought win.
Well, and they did what they had to do. 21 to 12, and St. Thomas getting the ball to start the second half. That had to be huge to force St. Thomas 3 and out to start the second half and really set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I would agree.
As Hobby goes into the victory formation, as he's going to kneel the ball, and the Blazers will go 2-0 as they defeat St. Thomas Aquinas by a score of 27 to 18.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Drive safely on your way home. There is a parent mixer for St. Thomas Aquinas parents.
So Coach Diener has to be very happy, by the way, that there's a lot of things you can still improve on. A few things you saw, but right now he'll take the 2-0, and he'll take the 22 points going in. And right now they're guaranteed in. They could lose by 45 points and only be down, or still have a +9 and still be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that back. The only way they wouldn't make it is if they lost by more than 13 and Pittsburgh beat St. Thomas by 13 or more. That's the only way it would happen. And after seeing what Pittsburgh did to St. Thomas, or what Pittsburgh did to Blue Valley, that's possible. Pittsburgh won. Coach Fun is still sitting there shaking his head. He can't believe it. So we're going to take a timeout as the Blazers win by a score of 27 to 18. We'll be back with the postgame. You're listening to Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
In Gardner, the only place you need to know for all your computer needs is America's Computers. John Alverson, one of the best you're going to find anywhere. Whether it be for your laptop or PC, John will take care of it. John can help you with repairs, tune-ups, and spyware to keep your computer running the best it can. Busy schedule and can't make it in? John even makes house calls. Now tell me where you're going to find a computer shop that